Okay, what we have here is the Nerf Elite Infinite fully auto Nerf Blaster. My cousin and his wife, they reached out to me. Their youngest son has a spinal cord disorder, which has kind of left him pretty immobile in a wheelchair, and he only has very limited mobility with his arms. And so they asked me if it was possible to modify one of these blasters so that he might be able to use it and participate in their epic Nerf battles that they have at home. So this is what I came up with. First, I'll go over the gun. The gun is still pretty much bone stock. I didn't upgrade any of the motors or switches or anything like that. I wanted to keep it just like a normal Nerf blaster, as if you had taken it out of the box. So it's still running off of the normal 4 D-cell batteries. All the switches and everything still work like they should. All the safety precautions are still there. And so this is what I did to modify it. I added a capacitance touch button so that when he touches his finger to it, it will simulate pulling the main trigger and fire a dart. So I'll get into I guess right now I'll get into what I've got going on there. So this switch takes a 5-volt power supply. So I'm using a 9-volt. This had a big empty cavity right here, which I'm sure I'll probably also include in the video, the building of it. But it had a big empty cavity, so I was able to put a 9-volt in there, and I'm using a 5-volt step-down regulator. So I'm feeding in the 9 volts and it's spitting out a steady 5 volts. That is powering the switch, and when you touch the switch, it's sending back that 5 volts on the signal wire, which is just a stereo wire with a stereo 3.5 millimeter stereo jack. That is powering a low voltage relay that's just being thrown, which is throwing the switch. And why this blaster is so perfect for this is that unlike with a few of the other blasters, this is actually utilizing some circuitry for all the timing and to throw the actuators, to start the flywheels, all that stuff. It's not just you hold down several switches and it completes the circuit and powers everything. So what I found during testing is that just by pulling the trigger itself, it will fire the dart and it will start the flywheels at the same time. So you don't need to hold down this trigger like I've seen lots of other videos where they just put like a rubber band on it, or they wire in a hard switch like I did here just to be safe, so they don't have to worry about that. And so yeah, so let's give this a quick test to show you what I'm talking about. So right here I've got a main power switch that turns everything on. Blue light means that there's power to the capacitance button. So now that that is on, let's give it a touch. See, it fires, and you heard the motor spool up, and this thing will shoot full auto. So as long as you have your finger on that pad, it's shooting full auto. Apologize for the shaky cam. I don't have a traditional setup to record all this. I'm just doing it with my phone. So give me 1 second, and I'll flip the gun over and show you the guts real quick.